So George recently said, quote, "In television, we have the new show House of the Dragon, which has just finished filming its second season, and we're going to do planning for the third season soon. But I also have like 8 other spin-off shows that we're developing. The Dunk and Egg show has been greenlit, the others not yet, but we're still working on them, developing some of them." Though we know that isn't exactly accurate due to shelving of certain projects. However, George clarified that shelve doesn't mean dead. He took to his Not a Blog to blog about some, what I consider, exciting news. One important quote from it was this: "Those of you that have read my reports in years past may recall that I prefer to say shelved rather than killed, as nothing is ever dead for good in Hollywood, and a project put on the shelf one year can be taken off the shelf a few years later. I still have hopes of presenting the stories that we shelved in another form, perhaps as graphic novels." At first I was hoping he meant that, okay, if they were shelved this year, maybe 3 years down the road, someone comes with a better script and they do it live action, where it sounds like more so it's going to be a graphic novel, but I'd rather have a graphic novel if I'm not going to be able to get a show. Any extra A Song of Ice and Fire material is a win in my book. George also shared an update on the live action series becoming an animated series, writing, "As it happens, HBO and I have our own animated projects set in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire. None of them have been greenlit yet, but I think we are getting close to taking the next step with a couple of them. When this last round of development started a few years back, we had 4 ideas for animated shows, with some great talents attached. Writers' rooms and summits, outlines, and scripts followed in due course, but alas, 2 of the original projects were subsequently shelved." You can do a lot with animation, so them still having 2 they're working on, I think, is great news. Also, I don't think that was surprising news to anyone that they had shelved the other 2 animated projects. I think for a while, most people have known they are working on 2 animated shows. HBO has a good track record with animation, from animating Aegon's Conquest to even the little history and lore videos. So if they're pouring more money and time into making a full show, it's just going to be amazing. Now, the exciting news is that George shared, even though they originally had 4 and 2 were shelved, they actually have 3 animated series they're working on right now. You may have remembered that 9 Voyages, which follows the sea snake, was originally going to be live action, and we were going to see his crazy sea adventures that took place before House of the Dragon Season 1. I was really excited about it because it shows the crazier places that no one in Westeros had gone before, and there's a lot of fun things to be found in those locations. But it's no longer live action because George admitted that they had to change it to animated due to budget issues. Surprise, a sea hitting a different port and exotic locations every episode would cost way too much money, especially with the cheapskate Zaslav wrecking everything. So on the change to a 3rd animated series being worked on, George blogged, "Work on the other 2 animated projects continues, and meanwhile, we have moved 9 Voyages, our series about the legendary voyages of the sea snake, over from live action to animation, a move I support fully. Budgetary constraints would likely have made a live action version prohibitively expensive, what with half of the show taking place at sea, and the necessity of creating a different port every week, from Driftmark to Lys, to the Basilisk Isles, to Volantis to Karth, to, well, on and on and on. There's a whole world out there, and we have a lot better chance of showing it all with animation. So now we have 3 animated projects underway. Will any of them make it to air? No way to know. Nothing is certain in Hollywood." The Basilisk Isles, which are absolutely crazy, and seeing them animated where they can get freakier than they could with live action is just going to be fantastic. And I do think that the 9 Voyages show has a better chance of actually being greenlit as an animated instead of a live action. I was kind of concerned from the beginning how they were going to do that or pull it off. Now we have to be curious about what the 2 other animated projects are. Is it the Yi Ti one? Is it the 10,000 ships following Nymeria trying to save her people from enslavement by the Valyrians? Maybe that stupid flea bottom show they pitched, which just sounds so horrible and stupid. I don't know, animation opens it up for a lot of different places they could take it. So like, subscribe, let me know what you think the other 2 animated shows are. And are you excited for an animated sea snake show? Because I definitely am.